Okay, so for today, we'll be discussing the first part of Module 3, Module 2. 3, the Philippine Archipelago. Alam niyo naman siguro ibig sabihin ng archipelago, no? I assume. Okay, so first is the learning outcomes for this module. So at the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify the composition of the Philippine Archipelago, identify its topography, and we'll also be discussing the introduction to the Philippine National Police and Filipino citizenship. So first is the Philippine Archipelago. Dito muna tayo for today's video. Okay, so the Philippine Archipelago is located between Taiwan and Borneo, about 800 kilometers from the Asian mainland. It is much more isolated than the Asian landmass than Indonesia or Japan. On the east side, so bisado nyo naman siguro yun, no? Yung northeast, west, south. On the east side lies the immense Pacific Ocean with the Philippine Sea extending more than 2,000 kilometers to the Carolines and the Marianas. Ayun. On the west side, a hotly contested body of water, the South China Sea, or what we call it, the West Philippine Sea. This separates the Philippines from Vietnam and China. The closest foreign land to the Philippines lies to the southwest, with the northern tip of the island of Borneo in the Malaysian province of Sabah. Sa may baba naman yun, banda ng Pilipinas. The sea therefore plays a major role in the life of the Philippines, just as it is also a link between Southeast Asian countries. Kaya nabanggit dyan na the sea therefore plays a major role in the life of the Philippines because it is where we traverse. Doon tayo dumadaan kapag nagbabiyahe by sea at pati yung ating economy may may part din doon sa mga seas na yan dahil sa ating mga fishermen. Yun. Okay, so the complex shape of the islands gives the country an exceptionally long coastline in regard to its overall land size. The genesis of such a spatial configuration is linked to the interaction of three major tectonic plates and four smaller ones. The intertwining of land and sea gives a special importance to coastal areas in terms of population settlement, urbanization, and economic activities. The defining characteristic of this archipelagic nation is that it has a far greater sea area under national jurisdictions than land territory. Mas madami ang sakop natin na tubig kaysa sa land. Kasi nga, katulad nitong sa picture na to, di ba? We are divided by, since we are an archipelago, we are therefore divided into many islands, and that in between those islands are bodies of water. And yung bodies of water na yon are still part of our territory. Okay, so singit ko lang sa batas, pag sinabing territory ng Pilipinas, yun yung lupa, yun yung tubig na nakapalibot sa atin, pati yung nasa pagitan ng mga isla natin, pati yung airspace sa tapat ng lupain natin ay teritoryo ng Pilipinas. Okay. So, kunyari, ito, kung nasaan yung arrow, ito, territory natin to. Territory din natin itong mga to. Yan, sa tubig na parte na ito, atin din yan. Okay. So being an archipelagic country with an extended huge coastline, the Philippines has a big potential in coastline development projects that could generate a wide variety of economic activities. The Philippines may become a mecca for marine tourism, develop the country's boat manufacturing industry, and protect its exceptional marine biodiversity for ecotourism. However, the Philippines is an elongated and fragmented state whose parts are poorly connected. Kasi sa dami nga ng isla natin, di ba? 7,000 plus. Kaya medyo may problem tayo doon. Although hindi naman talaga siya problem. Actually, it's an opportunity. So from the economic, social, and political standpoint, such a shape of the Philippines may be a disadvantage due to the high costs and time required to link together the different elements. Parang ah, sa Shopee, sa Lazada, may areas na hindi sila nakakapag-deliver dahil isla, yung mga ganon. Ah, I think si LBC lang ang may ganon. May may dagdag bayad lang kapag tatawid ng isla para ma-deliver yung parcel. Or yung iba, kung hindi talaga maidala doon sa mismong isla, pick up siya. Ganon. So, yun yung isa sa mga nagiging uh, problem natin or issues natin. Parang ako, we have relatives in Mindanao. Actually, taga Mindanao talaga ang mother ko. So, andun sila. Pag may pinapadala kami, hindi hindi siya ano to, mai-deliver sa bahay mismo kasi nga hindi daw sila sakop nung LBC na pinakamalapit. Kaya ang ginagawa, pick up nila doon sa mismong LBC. Partida, hindi naman taga-isla yung relatives namin. They are actually part of Agusan del Norte. Pero hindi nga nakakapag-deliver doon sa kanila. So, pipick upin doon sa city. Ayun. So, yun, yung mga ganong problems. So, the fragmentary nature of the country is a source of the regional thinking of the Filipinos. Kaya, kumbaga, bawat region natin, bawat lugar, meron tayong kanya-kanyang kultura, kaya very diverse yung culture natin. Pati language, di ba, magkakaiba din. Yung thinking, magkakaiba din. The existence of many tribal, ethnic, and linguistic groups is partly due to the archipelagic character of the nation. In matters of security, the numerous islands and long coastline make it difficult to defend the country against foreign invasion. Kasi hiwa-hiwalay nga tayo, masyadong madaming openings. Kumbaga, sa security nyo na subject next year, papag-aaralan nyo yan. Smuggling, to defend the country against foreign invasion, smuggling, and the prevention of illegal entry of aliens. Dahil nga madaming entry points na hindi naman well-guarded, kaya nagagawa yan, nakakapag-smuggle, papasok nga ng mga foreigners na illegal. So the ocean is also the source of typhoons, a major component of Philippine life, di ba? Bagyo is life. The situation of the archipelago in the western part of the Pacific Ocean gives it a humid climate marked by a seasonal inversion of wind and rain patterns and the permanent threat of strong storms born from the warmest ocean waters on the planet. Okay, so next is islands, seas, and lakes. So official Philippine statistics indicate that the country is made up of 7,107 islands with a total land area of 299,000 kilometers. The 64th largest country in the world, a medium-sized country roughly of the same dimension as Cuba, Norway, Italy, or Vietnam, slightly smaller than Japan. The country stretches about 1,850 kilometers from the Yami Island in Batanes, barely 78 miles from Taiwan. Malapit-lapit na yon. In the north, and Sitangkai or sa Tawi-Tawi in the south, only 34 miles from Borneo. It extends from 423 north. Hindi ko alam paano basahin yan. Okay, and is therefore entirely located within the tropical zone. So among the 7,107 islands, only 11 of them cover 94% of the land area. Two of them, Luzon in the north, Mindanao in the south. And being each larger than the rest of the archipelago, where the central islands around the central Visayan area are called collectively the Visayas, bounded by the islands of Masbate, Cebu, Negros, and Panay. And the Visayan Sea covers an approximate area of 10,000 square kilometers, comparable to the Cebuan Sea, surrounded by Luzon, Mindoro, Panay, and Masbate sa northern part naman. These two internal seas together are about the size of Japan's Seto Inland Sea, a third from the Visayas. Finally, the Sulu Sea is much wider between Palawan to the west, Mindoro, Panay, Negros to the northeast, sa Mindanao, Zamboanga Peninsula to the southeast, the Sulu Archipelago to the south, and northern shores of Malaysian Borneo into the southwest. Para madali, hanap na lang kayo ng mapa. Check nyo lahat yan. Although I know familiar na kayo dyan kasi elementary pa lang na ituro na sa atin yan sa geography natin. May geography naman kayo na subject, no? In the center of the Sulu Sea, a few atolls rise from the seafloor depths to within a few meters of the surface, such as the Tubataha Reefs, which is a World Heritage Site. By the way, katulad nung nabanggit ko kanina, sa territory ng isang bansa, pati, di ba, yung tubig, sakop natin yun. Pati yung nasa ilalim pa, yung lupa sa tubig, atin din yun. Territory din natin yun. Kaya kung sino man ang dadaan doon, kailangan may paalam. Okay? Sa Pilipinas. Only 154 islands are larger than 13 kilometers and about 500 over 1 square kilometer. 5,000 to 6,000 have no permanent population. The 20 largest islands make up 96.8% of the territory, and the 20 most populated islands are home to 98.7% of the population. Okay, so this 7,107 islands projects an image of extreme fragmentation. Kasi 'di ba? Na naman 7,107 na islands sa isang bansa. Gaano kadami 'yun? So, it really projects an image of extreme fragmentation. Talagang walay. It also has some implications for service to the smallest inhabited islands. But in fact, most of the population live on the 11 large islands of the country. And the archipelago resembles more Japan than Indonesia, whose west to east dimension is larger than the United States. The challenge of the Philippines may not be to tame the huge size of its territory like Indonesia, but rather the harmonious development of many medium-sized, well-populated islands. The archipelagic nature of the country is reinforced by the lack of fixed links and the fact that many areas are mountainous and difficult to access. Mahirap naman lahat ng bundok, lagyan natin ng daan. At lahat ng mga dagat, lahat ng mga isla, mga lakes, mga rivers, lalagyan natin ng bridge. Mahirap yun, magastos yun. So, with few roads and steep slopes, despite the moderate altitude, since there is no point above 3,000 meters in the Philippines. The country's rivers are rather short due to the lack of any major fluvial basin. Only 4 run for more than 200 kilometers. They are the Cagayan River in northern Luzon, the Rio Grande in Mindanao, the Agusan River also in Mindanao, and the Pampanga River in the central plains of Luzon. Yan, alam niyo naman yan. This limits the possibilities for major hydroelectric dams despite the abundance of rain and the steep slopes observed in many parts of the country. Okay. Next is the Philippine Seas and the EEZ, exclusive exclusive economic zone. So the EEZ of the Philippines as the coastline length compares favorably to other countries when measured in relation to the landmass of the country. The sea area theoretically under Philippine jurisdiction, yung nabanggit nga natin kanina, basta nasa paligid, nasa loob, in between islands, in between land territory of the Philippines are also considered territory of the Philippines, yung mga tubig na nandun. So the sea area theoretically under Philippine jurisdiction is 8 times larger than the islands themselves, giving the archipelago the 13th place in the world. This EEZ includes, as in Indonesia, archipelagic waters between the islands. So the Philippine archipelago is one of the three pillars of the Coral Triangle. So with an estimated 25,000 kilometers of coral reefs within its EEZ, it ranks third in the world, behind Indonesia and Australia, ahead of France, Papua New Guinea, and Fiji. These coral reefs represent, alongside the mangroves, a major marine biodiversity hotspot, which also being very appealing to for tourists. Kaya nga 'di ba sa Palawan, yan madami nagtutour or talagang tourist spot siya because of the reefs na meron tayo, pati yung ah yun yung biodiversity doon sa ano 'to? Sa marine environment natin. Daming uri ng isda at kung ano-ano pa. Yan. However, the Philippine coral reefs appear today to be in a poor shape, and I think you know that. Possibly the most endangered of all major coral zones in the world due to global warming combined with overexploitation of the resources. Yung, kasi 'di ba, pag yung mga ganyan dapat inaalagaan. Pag endangered na, kailangan mas stricto na tayo. Kaya nga ganun sa mga eagle, 'di ba? Sa mga Philippine eagle. Talagang matindi yung pangangalaga sa kanila. Kasi nga, uh, they were once overexploited and ngayon, ayan na ang nangyari na naging endangered na. Okay.